So what's happening here? You're looking at the Conservative bus. This is the bus that the candidates and journalists will ride on, but right behind it is the unveiling of the campaign plane that we know they travel by bus and by plane on these. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is going to use the plane that's parked behind the bus a little bit later this morning when he heads to Quebec City.
Move that bus! Move that bus! Stream home over makeover. It's like one of those.
Stream home makeover. That's
right.
what it is.
Anyway,
trust us. Behind that campaign bus, there's a campaign plane, and you're going to see it in Quebec City a little bit later. That's happening in Hamilton right now. But both the Conservative and NDP campaigns are starting this morning in Hamilton. And so is CTV's Rachel Aiello. She is traveling with the NDP party. Good morning, Rachel, to you.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
Okay, what are we expecting is on the agenda for the NDP today?
Yeah, so the NDP are going to be unveiling their version of the middle-class tax cut that we've already heard the Liberals and the Liberals and Conservatives talk about. So we're expecting to get more details today from the NDP on their plan to help middle-class Canadians. Jagmeet Singh also has an event at a seniors residence before moving from Hamilton to London, Ontario for another, what we've become pretty used to now on this campaign, a stop in at a local candidate's campaign office for, I guess I could say, a smaller sized rally. And just to point in, Marie, to you pointing out the bus plane situation with the Conservatives, although the Conservatives have in the past invited journalists on those modes of transportation, that is not the case this time. So yes, we're seeing the bus that Poilievre is traveling on, and soon we'll be seeing the plane that he will be getting on, but journalists, including ours at CTV News, are traveling across the country independently to be able to put questions to Poilievre and cover his events on a unilateral kind of way.
Yeah, your colleague Michael Couture set that up a little bit for us yesterday, but it is a good point to bring up that as you see different reporters from CTV covering the Conservative campaign, that is why, because we are using our local reporters in that area because we are not traveling on the bus or the plane. I want to talk about Jagmeet Singh's meeting yesterday. He admitted his party, and these are his words, are facing a massive challenge in this election. And I want to point out that last night the Conservatives were in Hamilton. There was a massive rally there. And it speaks to the struggle of the NDP that at that rally, there are union leaders speaking and endorsing Pierre Poilievre from the Conservatives. What's at stake for the NDP in this election?
The state of their official party status in the House of Commons, to be absolutely frank, Anne-Marie. The NDP did make efforts yesterday to try to point out to us that Jagmeet Singh and the NDP have gotten endorsements from enough union membership that includes what they say is around 1 million Canadians. But certainly that fight for the workers' vote is clear between the Conservatives and the NDP. I was one of the journalists putting those questions to Singh yesterday, kind of after we saw that dramatic column from former NDP leader Tom Mulcair suggesting that this race, because of the threats of Donald Trump, is really just a two-way race between the Liberals and Conservatives. And he is hearing, and I am hearing from New Democrats who are thinking they are just going to have to vote Liberal, park their votes there, progressive voters, because they're concerned about the Conservatives in such a tight race. So the polls right now do not look good for the NDP. It is kind of feeling like in the first few days a bit like a campaign on autopilot. You know, we're hitting a few stops a day, announcement in the morning, something in the afternoon, and then a campaign office stop. Jagmeet Singh has not done a single rally to the scope or size that we've seen from the other campaigns so far. So they're still putting on a bold face. They're saying they are in for the fight. They know the challenge ahead. But if things don't turn around for the NDP, then it is dire straits. They could be in a situation where they don't have what they need, at least 12 caucus members in the House of Commons to hold official party status. Just a reminder for our audience this morning, they went into this election with 24 seats.
Yeah, I want to dig into something that you just brought up, Rachel. And, you know, there's a lot of election news coming out, so this is why I appreciate getting to talk to the reporters who are traveling with the campaign. If people missed it, former NDP leader Tom Mulcair, reminder, he led the party from 2017 to 2021. He wrote an op-ed for BNM Bloomberg yesterday where he said that Canada cannot afford vote splitting in the face of U.S. President Trump's threats, and that only, quote, real contenders who can form a government to take him on should be considered, indicating either the Liberals or Conservatives. First of all, how much of a shock was that messaging to the NDP party and to Jagmeet Singh in particular? How did it land? What reaction were you seeing and feeling there?
Yeah, I mean, candidly, I don't know that there is a ton of love lost with Tom Mulcair and his former party. But I do think that it is something that they're trying to put at least a bit of a brave face on. You know, Jagmeet Singh was saying, we get these kinds of questions in every election campaign. And, you know, I want to make it clear for Canadians that I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight for you. And trying to really make the case for voters who are on the progressive side of things to vote for their values, saying if you want someone who's going to protect healthcare, if you want someone who's going to protect pharmacare, dental care, if you want someone who's going to fight for workers and low-income housing, that is the NDP. So he's really trying to play to the base, because what we are seeing in the polling, Anne-Marie, is that those progressive voters are shifting to the Liberals right now because of that kind of persistent conversation we had almost every election campaign about this idea of strategic voting and needing to place your votes where you think they're going to be the most effective. And clearly, as Mr. Mulcair laid out in that column, there is a concern right now that the lack of support or the moving of support from the New Democrats is actually turning out to help the Conservatives, because frankly, the Conservatives need a bit stronger of an NDP to kind of split the vote on the left. But if that's not happening, then those votes are going to the Liberals. In an interesting way. So it's a fascinating dynamic to be covering right now. I feel kind of like I'm either watching the NDP like set sails into the wind, or we're on the precipice of a major turnaround. You know, we've seen the polls shift so dramatically in the last 2 months. In the month ahead, a lot could still change. But as of now, the NDP bus, to be a bit easy about it this morning, hasn't really gotten rolling.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to let you get rolling because you got a lot of places to go this morning. CTV News' Rachel Aiello from Hamilton this morning, traveling with the NDP. Thanks so much.
Yeah, have a great morning.
You too. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.